welcome back to another week of distance learning. This is actually our last week of math for distance learning. If you have a packet as well, when I created the packet, I thought we were going to have 8 weeks. So you can put aside the coordinate pairs, and you do not have to do that because this is your last week. There are going to be 2 videos. I know I said that last week, but I truly mean that this week. And I hope they will be a little bit shorter so that it will not increase your time with math. But I thought to be able to split it up into 2 different sections and to watch a little bit and then to work a little bit. So the first part we're going to learn is dividing whole numbers by fractions. Both of these will work with division and fractions, but they're going to be flip-flop, where the first one we're going to start with a whole number and work with a fraction. So let me show you what that looks like, and as always, I expect you to be following along. If you'd like to grab a piece of paper and a pencil, the more you put into this, the more you will get out of it. So let me show you where we're going to begin with this, please. All right, so here we go. We're going to start with dividing fractions. So here is an example problem. It starts with a student named Sequoia who brought 3 chocolate cakes to school. She's going to give each student 1/8 of a cake. How many students will receive a piece of cake? So basically, this is what the problem looks like. She's got 1, 2, 3 cakes, and she's going to cut each cake into 8s. All right, so it's going to look like that. It's already been cut. So starting here, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. She cut this one into 8s, and she cut this one into 8s, and then she also cut this one into 8s. Looking back then, we've got how many students will receive a piece of cake? Or another way to word that is, how many pieces of cake does she have? So you start with 3 cakes, you split them into 8s, how many pieces will you have? Now you can do some counting, or you can also use your multiplication chart to help you with this. Because this cake, you got 8 pieces out of it. This cake, you got 8 pieces out of it. And this cake, you got 8 pieces out of it. So you have 8 pieces 3 times. So you've got 8 times 3. So how many pieces of cake? 24. So she'll be able to serve 24 students. Here's another problem. It's not a story problem, it's just a sample problem. We've got 4 wholes of something, and we're going to split them into 1/4. So let's make this into a story problem. Let's say you've got 4 whole candy bars. So 1 whole candy bar, 2 whole candy bars, a 3rd candy bar, and a 4th candy bar. And you don't want to eat them all at once, so you're going to split them into 4s. You're going to take this one into 4 pieces, this one into 4 pieces, etc., etc. And then the question is, how many pieces will you have when you're done? So this is what it's going to look like when you're done. You take this one and you split it into 4 pieces. This one and you split it into 4 pieces. This one and you split it into 4 pieces. And this one and you split it into, right, you get the idea, right? Right, so again, 2 different ways you can solve this. You can count every single one of those, but you know the more you count and the higher you count, the greater chance you're going to make a mistake. So really push yourself to be a 5th grader here and use your math facts or your chart, because you have 4 pieces here and 4 pieces here and 4 pieces here and 4 pieces here. So you have 4 how many times? Right, 4 times. So use your multiplication chart. So find 4 times 4. Find your answer. And good job. You should have come up with 16. Now, do you see here in the problem where you could have just found that number? Starting to see a pattern. Here's another problem. You've got 3 holes. Let's say they're beef sticks. For McCullough's, you've got 1 beef stick, 2 beef sticks, and your 3rd beef stick, and you're going to split them into 6. So start thinking, pause if you need to, and make yourself a prediction. How many pieces will you have when you're done with all of your cutting or your dividing? Go ahead and pause, make a prediction. Draw this on your paper if you need to. All right, welcome back. Let's see how you did. So your thinking should have been that you needed to split each one of these into 6 pieces. So this is one way that you could have done it. So you have 6 pieces here, 6 pieces here, and 6 pieces here. Again, pushing yourself to be a 5th grader. You've got 6, 1, 2, 3 times. You've got 6, 3 times. 6 times 3 is 18. So you have 18 pieces. One last one, and then I'm going to show you what your assignment looks like for today. You've got 5 divided by half. What do you want it to be 5 of? I'm going to give a pause and you fill in the blank. You have 5. All right, let's go with that. So you've got 5, and you're going to split them into halves, right? So make your prediction. What will that be? Okay, let's see if you're right. I can't draw on here very well. I can actually, but you know what? I don't think I will. You're going to split this one into 2 pieces, this one into 2 pieces, this one into 2, 2, and 2. So when you're done, you're going to have 2 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. 5 times 2 equals 10. You're going to have 10 pieces. How'd you do with that? Does it look pretty easy? Because I think it really is. As long as you're making that picture on your paper, starting to create that picture in your head, I think you're going to be okay. Let me show you what your assignment looks like. It's worded a little bit differently than the examples we were doing. I copied it right off of our internet, off of the Google Slides. Let me show you what that looks like so that you feel really comfortable doing that. And as always, you know I'm available by cell phone and also by email. So let me hook you up with what that assignment looks like. Here we go. The problem number 1 has been done for you. It says 3 divided by 1/7. This is the same as saying how many 1/7 are there in 3 holes. So I've got 3 whole licorice sticks. So I've got 1, 2, 3 licorice sticks. Now instead of actually drawing and cutting them like we were doing right before where we cut them right up here, they just decided to cut them below. Not a big deal. If it bothers you, you can do the cutting there. So they took that hole and they cut it, each one, into 7 pieces of licorice. 1, 2, 3. See, I'm just drawing the lines right up into the hole in case that bothers you. All right, and then they continued doing that. Now, just like we were talking about before, right? You want to push yourself to be a 7th grader. A 7th grader. You know why I said that? Because I'm about to write the number 7. You want to push yourself to be a 5th grader. When you're done, there's going to be 7 pieces here. There are 7 pieces here. And there are 7 pieces here. It's okay to push yourself to be a 6th grader though, right? Because you almost are a 6th grader. All right, so you've got 7. How many times? 3. And 3 times 7 is 21. So how many pieces will you have? You will have 21 pieces. All right, let's take a look at another one. We've got 4 divided by 1/3. So here's our 4 holes, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to split each one up into how many pieces? 3 pieces. So again, you can do it down below or you can do it up above. I prefer to do it up above, but whichever one makes sense to you. So I'm going to split this one up into 3 pieces. Long John Donuts, that just makes sense to me for this one. I split this one into 3 pieces, into 3 pieces, and into 3 pieces. All right, now when I'm done, I'm going to have 3 pieces here, and 3 pieces here, and 3 pieces here, and 3 pieces here. So you're going to have 3, how many times? 4 times. So to solve that, you can do 3 times 4, which would be 12. Pretty easy peasy, right? I'm just going to do one more with you because I think you're going to do super swell on this. It's going to be easy enough for you. All right, so I've got 5 carrot sticks, and I'm going to split them up into 1/4 pieces. So here's my 5, and I'm going to split them up into how many pieces? 4. Remember, I like to do 4, so I split them in half, and then I split them in half again. And at some point, I know one of you is going to say to me, Mrs. Spitzley, do I have to do all my dividing? Can I just write the number 4 over here? And I'm going to say, yes, I still want you to do your dividing. Show me, because you're making a mental picture in your head. So when I'm done, I'm going to have a group of 4. How many times? 5 times. So I can do my multiplying. 5 times 4 is 20. So I'm going to have 20 pieces of carrot sticks when you're done. Okay? So what do you think? Look easy enough? That is one worksheet that you need to work on, and I already gave you several answers. You don't have to print the worksheet. Remember, it's easy enough to just copy those over onto another piece of paper. It can be scrapbook paper, it can be notebook paper, it could even be a whiteboard if you have one of those at home. Do those. Call me if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you in the second video. There really is a second video this week. So work hard and know that you're loved. I'll see you back in just a little bit.